Hey everyone on YouTube. Today we're not going to be doing a vlog. We're going to be doing a little bit something different. I'm going to be talking about my testimony. Then I'm going to go over something that I feel that I've been needing to go over because it's been hitting me right in the heart and home base. Or you get what I'm saying. Like, remember that George Bush comment? But I'm going to go over my testimony today. I don't know if you guys want to see it, but if it touches anybody or gets shared anywhere and it helps people, because there's a lot of people that I was like, and I'm still kind of like that. I'm living right. But I'm just gonna tell you guys my road to salvation. And if you hear any noise in the background, it is my little baby girl and my wife. My wife's helping me cook, and the baby's laying right beside me on her play mat, playing. More like crawling and rolling all over the place. But so if she starts crying, don't worry. Mama's gonna come help me out here. Well, let's start. I didn't grow up in a church-going household, really. My mom, she's a believer in God, and she's saved and stuff, but she never really went to church. She's more of a stay-at-home, pray. She talks to God a lot. I'd like to get her in church, but it's another obstacle. That's another story. But awesome lady. My dad, he's a believer and stuff. But he took us when we were little, but we really, just due to getting busy in life, they were both awesome people, but just getting busy in life is very hard. And I just realized I'm probably shaking the camera. I was rocking my leg. Sorry about that. But look, I'm gonna start like I never grew up really going to church or doing much like that. I went to Second Baptist as a kid. The guy would come up and take us to church, but I never really got saved. It's more of a social event. And then in 2013, I think 2012 or 2013, Cheyenne, she actually goes to church. She's married to Zach and has a little baby girl, Kara. She told me about the church. I'm not sure she invited me, but I was bored. I didn't have any friends, so I thought I'd go. So I showed up one Sunday, started going. It was fun because people welcomed me. And it wasn't really about God at that point because I made friends, and it was more of a social event, a social gathering. Now, church can be a social gathering, but you got to be there for the same thing. It's a social gathering for God, not a social gathering for personal talks and stuff, which I get. You guys got to understand what I'm saying here. You can go and have friends. Church isn't just about showing up and praising God and learning about God. It kind of is, but you know what I'm saying. You're not there just to hang out and not learn anything or worship about anything. And so I started going and meeting friends. I met a lot of friends in the youth. David Adkins was the youth director at the time, and Curtis Isabel, he come in every once in a while, and they were two awesome leaders. But you can only get someone so far. They got to actually want to be there to learn something and do something. And excuse the noise in the background if you guys are hearing that. So, like I said, I kept going. I met all these friends, and I thought I was saved, but I really wasn't. I said I was, but I never had that heart-pounding feeling, that love come through my body till recently. A few Sundays ago, that's when I was saved. Let me back up a little bit more. I don't want to skip too far ahead. So I'd been gone from the church 4 or 5 years. Drinking, finding many girls. You look at me and you're thinking, he must have had too many, or he must have been drinking a lot, because look at him, he ain't gonna have. But I wasn't the greatest man that I should have been. But then I met my wife, and we were married in 2 years, and about a year into the marriage, she tried to get me to go to different churches. I went to different churches. It was fun. The music was loud. It got your adrenaline going. The cool songs, cool, nice people, but it still didn't feel right. So then we took another break. Every Sunday, I'd make her a promise that we would go, and I would fail on that promise. And it was hurting her because she's saved and she's a God-loving woman. But then I thought, she's starting to melt down. Excuse me, guys. Hey, Allie. She's starting to melt down. I promise it won't be too much longer. But, so and then I had a feeling 2 weeks prior to showing up to Black Oak, I had a feeling to show. I said Black Oak's the place we need to be. I don't know why. I just had a feeling, and I'm a guy that's cursed God. At one time, I'm gonna back up a little bit more again. Sorry. At one time, I was starting to not believe God because I didn't understand. I wanted scientific proof because it just didn't make sense to me because I never had that feeling of salvation and the love from God. So I didn't understand it. Of course, you can't understand anything until you feel it personally. And a lot of us Christians, we still don't understand it, but we have that feeling in our heart, and we know. But we finally went. Showed up. I was worried because I hadn't been there in a while. I felt bad. I felt like I was going to be judged. But we showed up. Everyone welcomed us with open arms. Even the pastor was new, so that was one thing I was worried about. But he turned out to be an amazing man. He's got an awesome wife and 2 awesome girls. They're the most welcoming and loving family, and the church overall is the most welcoming and loving church that I've ever been to. No, there's no judgment there, and if there is, God takes care of that. But there's no judgment that we've noticed. We've been greeted with open arms by every single person there, every Sunday morning, every Sunday night, every Wednesday night, and any other times we're around them. But we went a few Sundays, and I knew I wanted to raise my daughter in church because I knew it's not just about me now, it's about her. And I learned that she's a blessing, and that God gave me her to show love to her and show her in the right direction. So I felt obligated. It was about her, and I didn't really think much about myself. Well, they were preaching. I think it was Pastor Lee. Pastor Lee was preaching, and he every Sunday, whenever they were talking they were doing what? You're telling invitation to come up there. I never wanted to. I just felt it felt like your whole body gets sweaty. Your whole body starts sweating, you're really sweaty. You feel like you're gonna explode or something, you feel something in your stomach. My heart was pounding. I had a feeling that I needed to do something. Bottles. Okay. What am I doing with those? Hold her. I'm gonna hold little girl real quick. You guys can see her. She needs her camera time anyways. But I felt my heart pounding. And I looked at my wife, Allie, and I said, I want to be saved, Allie. So I walked down there. It was an awkward moment because Pastor Lee, he had been, and it was like a transition because I waited so long to go down there. It was like a transition with what was going on. So when I walked down there, I didn't know what to do. I just sat on the pew. And then all of a sudden, an overwhelming feeling just kept getting stronger and stronger. I was scared of what people were going to think. I was scared of whatever. I thought I was going to be judged and laughed at and made fun of. And because everyone does that because there's so many people and a lot of eyes were going on to me, trying to figure out what I was doing. That's what I thought. I mean, you guys, what you were thinking. That sounded really kind of bad, but I don't know anyone's thoughts, but that's what I was thinking. And so I went down there, and Pastor Lee finally came over to me. And by that time, I was looking down, and I felt like I couldn't talk or anything. I could barely talk when he came. I was overwhelmed with emotion. And he said, "Do you want to be saved?" And I said, "I want to be saved." We prayed, and I asked God to be in my heart and save me and give my life to Christ. And we went over, and he asked me, "Am I going to heaven?" And I said, "Yes." He said, I think he said, "Why, right, Allie? Or how do you know, or where are you going?" I said, "Heaven." He said, "How do you know?" And I said, "Because I put God in my heart." And that was there's so many people, even in my family, that know they're not Christians, or if they say they are, but the feeling, you will know when you've been saved. There's a feeling, an overwhelming feeling. As soon as I finished that prayer and I looked up, tears coming in my eyes, I felt the biggest weight off my chest come off. I felt the biggest weight come off my chest. And the funny thing is, I still had that exploding feeling. It was all joy though, nothing negative like before. Same exploding feeling, but all positive. I didn't know, I felt like I was just going to shout for joy. Didn't know really how to react to it. Ralph Scott, one of the men from church, he came down there and sat with me, and he gave me comfort, and it felt like he was my brother. I felt so much happy and relief and love, and it had been such a time coming, and it was the best feeling in the world to be saved. And whenever we left church that day, everything in my mind looked a lot clearer, or everything through my eyes was a lot clearer. Even in my mind, the world looked more beautiful than it is. I had happiness in my heart. My marriage felt okay. All the negativity went away. And now I'm not saying all that's going to happen when you're saved, all the negativity. There's still going to be negativity in your life. You just got to overcome it and ask God, and speak to God about it, and try to get through it and have positivity in your life. Because that joy and that stuff, it started going a little south. I'm not saying I lost it all, but the devil really wanted to play with my emotions and stuff. That after about a week later, and I wasn't overwhelmed. Me and my wife, Allie, you guys know on this channel, we came together and we prayed about it, and we stuck together and we prayed, and it got better. We got through it, because the devil's going to play on your... I thought I was going to be okay after I got saved. I thought the devil couldn't mess with me. I had God, but he will mess with you. He will try to tear you apart and make you think, you got her, and make you think different. But that's not... she good? Make you think different and try to tear you apart. But that's... you just got to pray and get through it, because he's going to try to attack you, because he knows you're not his anymore. That's my testimony. If you have any more questions, leave it in the comments. And I was going to go over one more topic, is greed. Whenever I noticed after I was saved, I always asked God for this, asked God for that, but I wasn't giving him the reply or the glory. Is glorification a word? Glorification, I guess. I don't know. I graduated high school. That's about all I know. But I wasn't giving him the glory for all this, all the blessings. He blesses us every day. If we ask for it or don't ask for it, he still blesses us. And we're honestly, we're greedy. I'm not gonna, that sounds like I'm attacking somebody, but we are. We always ask God for everything, but we never talk back to him and say thank you, and take the time to thank him for everything. I feel like sometimes, even the stuff we do pray about, we may thank him, but we don't thank him for all the hidden stuff every day and all the time. It's like when your parents buy you a new car. You say if your parents do buy you a new car, they provide. Say you're living, okay, let's use this example. You're living at home, your parents buy you a PlayStation. They buy you a car. You're so thankful. Oh, Mom, Dad, thank you for all you've done. But do you ever thank them for putting the food on the table, for paying for your school lunches or food, or paying for your clothes, or paying for your house to live? Now, you never thank them. That is, I mean, I feel like that is their obligation to do that, but still, as children and stuff, we could be thankful. And when we were children, we could be thankful for that, the small things. And I feel like we don't thank God enough for the small things and the small blessings that are a lot bigger than we realize. So just I want you guys to just take the time to pray to God, thank him, and give him glory for all the blessings and all that he has done in your life. And if you guys want to share your testimony, go ahead and video that too. And if you do, we'll share it through all of our social media, so we can get this going out so people can hear about it. And it's kind of a way of witnessing, I feel like. Now, I do apologize. Like I said, I'm not a good speaker on camera. I get nervous, I get tongue-tied, I'm not good with putting words together, but I'm trying my best. And there's a lot of you guys that might be shy. You can get through it. Just pray about it, get through it, and don't worry about being judged. The only one you have to worry about being judged by is God. And I don't think he's going to be upset at all about you guys giving him glory and talking about your testimony to lead others to Christ. That's all I got for this video, guys. Any questions, leave it in the comments. Thank you, guys.